Hello and welcome to this Microsoft project fundamentals training with me, Tendai, from Foundation for Business Technology. This is an online training course that is accessible from anywhere using any smart device. The program consists of pre-recorded video lectures that you can study at your own pace. You'll be able to rewind or replay as many times as you wish any portion of the training. During this course, we are going to develop a project from start to end. I'll be showing you, using on-screen demonstrations, everything that you need to do to develop this project. This will include whatever you need to type on the keyboard or whatever actions you need to take with your mouse. At various stages, you'll be required to submit a copy of the project that you're working on. These practical submissions are not a test, but they are simply a way for me to know that you are following exactly what I'm teaching you. This training is on Microsoft Project, which is a tool for managing projects. To start with, we need to answer the question, what is a project? A project is any initiative, an endeavor, or an undertaking to achieve a particular aim or objective within a specific time, using a planned set of resources and planned activities. The moment you have a goal to achieve and you know the time frame to achieve it and the resources that are required to achieve that goal, you already have the makings of a project. A project is short-term or temporary. This is different or distinct from routine operations or repetitive jobs, such as running your monthly payroll. Each job description has got tasks that are referred to as routine tasks, which are repetitive. Like, for example, a cleaner's job every day is to come and clean the offices. So such routine tasks cannot be referred to as a project because they are ongoing. Examples of projects are the development of a new product or probably some innovation around existing products. Also, you can have a project to construct or to renovate a building. So these two endeavors qualify as projects because they have a specific end product, they have a specific goal in mind, and they can be achieved within a specific time frame using a particular set of resources. A project has a number of elements, some of which we have already touched. The very first element of a project is that it has to have an aim or an objective that needs to be achieved. That is why you hear people talking about a dam project or a road project or a construction project. These terms refer to the end game or the main objective or goal that needs to be achieved. That goal now gives the project its name. Secondly, a project needs a time frame within which to achieve that aim or that objective. Thirdly, the project will require some resources in order to achieve the objective. There are a number of different types of resources. The first one being time. A project requires a commitment of time from all the people or stakeholders of the project. Secondly, a project requires people. The people represent the skills as well as the manpower required to perform the job. Then thirdly, a project requires financial resources or money. So money is the baseline, it is the common denominator, it is the currency for all the other resources. With money, you can then purchase equipment that is required for the project, as well as any other materials that are needed. Next, a project requires a set of planned activities. In order to achieve a particular goal, a number of different activities need to be performed from the start of the project to the end. So those activities need to be planned. We need to determine the time when each activity must be carried out. Secondly, we need to determine the sequence or the order in which the activities are to be executed. There are some activities that depend on the completion of others. For example, when we are constructing or renovating a building, plastering must be completed and dried before the painting can start. So we can say that the painting activity is dependent on the completion of the plastering activity. You also find other activities that can be performed at the same time or simultaneously. When we are constructing a building, there is the brickwork as one activity, and then there is the electrical fittings as a separate activity. But the two can happen at the same time, because as we are putting up the walls, we need to put the electrical conduits within the walls themselves. So we can schedule these two activities to happen at the same time. Project management is the art or discipline for managing these endeavors that we are calling projects. It helps us to answer questions such as what tasks need to be performed in order to accomplish our objective. When should each task be performed, which we refer to as the timing of the different tasks. It also helps us to define the sequence or order in which the tasks need to be performed. We discussed earlier on about dependencies between various tasks. There are tasks that can be performed at the same time, while there are other tasks that depend on the completion of others. Next, we need to look at the people or the human resources that we have and determine who is going to complete each task on our project plan. As we execute the tasks, various resources will be required, from human resources, financial resources, equipment, and materials. Project management helps us to answer the question, what resources are required for each task? We also need to look at the element of cost and answer the question, how much will it cost to complete each individual task? And then in terms of our planning, we also need to have contingencies. What happens if some tasks are not completed as scheduled? If, for example, the plastering delays or the materials we're waiting for from overseas have not yet arrived, what do we do then? So project management builds in those contingencies. Because we're working with so many different people within the organization and also outside the organization, project management helps us to communicate all the critical project information to the people that are within the organization and those that are without, such as our suppliers and even the clients for the project that we are executing. Next, let us look at Microsoft Project as a software product. What is MS Project? MS Project is a software program or an application that you can use to plan and manage different types of projects. It is part of the Microsoft Office family of products. It comes in different versions. You have a version that works on the desktop as well as the one that works online, and they are called Project Desktop and Project Online respectively. The Project Desktop has got two products under it. You have the Project Standard, which is the entry level, which basically helps you to create and to track your project plans. Then you also have Project Professional, which is the Project Standard plus additional features such as the Team Planner view. You can also work with Project Online or Project Server if you have Project Professional. For those of you that have got Microsoft Office 365, Project Online is delivered through the Office 365 suite of products. Project Online is the Microsoft Project and Portfolio Management Solution, or PPM. If you are not working online and you want to have the Microsoft Project and Portfolio Management, then what you need is Project Server, because it is the Microsoft on-premises PPM solution. With Microsoft Project, we can achieve a number of things. For example, we can create plans with different levels of detail. You might need to put summary information on some of the tasks, whereas on other tasks, you want to put as much detail as is possible. With MS Project, we also manage the various tasks of the project. Next, MS Project helps us to manage the resources and the costs associated with those resources. With MS Project, we are managing and tracking the project plan right from the beginning to the end. We also define the scheduling of tasks with MS Project. We can define what tasks can be scheduled automatically. Take the example of the building, plastering and painting that we gave earlier on. Because the painting comes immediately after the plastering, it is possible to set up the painting to be triggered automatically the moment that the plastering has been completed. Then you also have other tasks that need to be scheduled manually because they need the management's discretion in deciding the exact moment when that task should start. With MS Project, we can also collaborate and share information on projects with others within the organization. So we can work as a team on the same project and share information because the MS Project software is a multi-user software that allows more than one person to interact on the same project. With MS Project, we can also manage more than 2 projects at a time. So when you're working with multiple projects, we can use the same resource pools to service those different projects. If you've got one set of engineers, for example, you can schedule your projects in such a way that you can use the same set of engineers on all the different projects. We can also create and manage links between multiple projects. At times, certain projects depend on the output from other projects. So project A has got an output that becomes an input in project B. So through MS Project, we are able to manage these multiple projects and define at what stage we have interfaces and what type of interface we have between the various projects. This course consists of a number of modules, and each module is a video. Like this one is the introductory module, which is module number 1. Then we are going to have the next module for creating project information. Then we go to the tasks, milestones, summary task, recurring tasks, linking tasks together, task constraints, baselines, resources, calendars. Then we conclude with reports. What you are going to need for this training is MS Project 2016 software, because that is the one that I'm going to be using for the demonstrations. If you have a different version, you may need to adapt some of the instructions where the interface differs. But I'm sure the differences are not going to be prohibitive. So at this point, as I switch to my MS Project screen in the next module, what you need to do is to start your own MS Project on your computer. You need to follow exactly what I'll be demonstrating as I explain, because as I said earlier, we are building a project from start to end. So you have to follow me and be at the same stage that I am at the end of every module. So you need to make sure at the end of each module, your project is looking exactly like mine. When you reach each practical submission stage, you need to upload or to email your project file so that I can confirm that you are following. Please note that the practical submission is not a test or examination. It is simply a way for me to know that you understand and are able to implement the concepts that we are learning. So at any time during the training, do not hesitate to call me, my number is there, or to send an email if you face any challenge as you go through the training videos. So it remains for me to wish you the best in this training, and I'll meet you in the next module.